Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the top 25 best power forwards in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM here on this tier list. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 11,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, and I would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Starting off with Anthony Davis, who's going to go below, I'd say like mid-B tier, honestly. I think that's the fairest spot for him. He's only 6'10", so he doesn't have the greatest size. He's not terribly small, but not big. The release is not like elite, but it's not bad. It's just kind of there. I don't think he's a bad card. He moves pretty well. He's a good defender. I mean, he can shoot the ball well. He's got great badges. Really solid card. I just don't think he's next level great at the power forward position. I don't know. I think B tier is pretty fair for him. Another guy who's probably B tier is Ben Wallace. I mean, Ben Wallace is 6'9". He's small, but he moves really well. He's super fast, and he's an elite level defender. And he does have a really nice release as well that I like a lot. So I think in terms of animations and stuff, and the fact that he can defend at a super high level, I like the card. I just think the size matters a lot, and that knocks him down a tier for me. Chris Bosh is going to probably go low A or high B. I like his release a lot. He's got good size, a good player build, solid defender, really good stats and badges. Definitely think he can hold his own for sure at a very high level as a top tier power forward. Another guy who's going to go A tier for me, maybe borderline S, would be David Robinson. I think he's right on that borderline. I just don't know if he quite squeaks into my top 5 right now at the power forward position. He's close though. He might wind up getting moved up. I really do think big D-Rob is a beast at the power forward position at 7'1" with a really nice release, really good movement. I think he's a good card for sure. We also have DeMarcus Cousins. I don't love this card. I just don't think his release is that great. He moves good, but he doesn't move insanely well. I don't feel like he's the most elite defender in the world. The hero version is better on the defensive end than the regular version, but I just don't love this card. I don't know. There's something about him that I'm not a huge fan of. He's probably, I don't know. He's like borderline B. I'd say the hero version's B and the regular version's C probably, to be completely fair. So we'll move Boogie up a little bit. Dikembe Mutombo goes S tier for me. I really do think he's one of the best power forwards in the game. He's got great size at 7'2". He's one of the better defensive power forwards in my team. He's also a very nice shooter. Does not have the greatest 3-ball rating, but his release is super nice. So I do think Dikembe is a really good card. I'm very high on him at power forward. Definitely think he's an S tier guy. Honestly, Dino he's going to go high B. I think you could argue Dino's A. I love the Francis size up on him. He's got really good length at 6'11", but with a 7'11" wingspan, he plays really nice on the defensive end of the courts, playing those lanes, getting those boards over other players. He plays a lot bigger than 6'11", and he's got a nice release as well. So he moves well. He's got a very good release, and he's an elite level defender with really nice length. I think he's a beast. I really do think he's really good. I'm going to go B tier for him. Going to go B tier for Dwight as well. We're going to go A for Dwight. I don't love the release, but I still think he's good enough even without the release, where like he's a better version of Anthony Davis. I feel like he's a little bit quicker, better shot creator. Still not the best release, but better. I mean, he's an A tier guy. I don't think he's S tier, but I think he's an A tier power forward. Definitely a card that I am a big fan of. Our first D tier power forward, unfortunately, is going to be Evan Mobley. This card would be so nice if he had a good release, but his release is atrocious. Pretty simple. He gets a dark matter, it better have a changed release. That's all I'll say about Evan Mobley, because if he gets a changed release, really will be a really nice, super solid dark matter. But with how bad his release is right now, you just can't put him any higher than D tier in my opinion. Greg Oden's like borderline A to B as well. We'll go high B for Oden. He does have very good size and a great player build, plays really big, but I don't love his release. He's not the fastest power forward in the world. I do think he's a really nice card though, and I do think he's a B tier guy. Hakeem's gonna go high A for me. I actually like D-Rob just slightly better than Hakeem. Hakeem may have slightly better stats and badges, but I do think D-Rob's I prefer his release a little bit. I think he competes just as well defensively. I'm really high on D-Rob, but I'm very high on Kareem as well. I mean, Hakeem as well. I think he's one of the better low 40 cards that we've gotten all year, but I'm going to have to slide Hakeem into the A tier instead of the S tier. Julius Randle is 6'8" without an elite level release. This card or the Moments card really doesn't matter. I just don't think he's that great. He's got to go D tier. I'm going Kareem S because of the length, because of the 7'2", because of the fact he's like a point big. He's really nice. I think he's super good at the power forward position. Big fan of Kareem. He's one of the best power forwards in my team, so he's going to go pretty high up on the list. A guy like Karl-Anthony Towns is probably C tier. Not the greatest release in the world, but he does have good size. He's a capable enough defender. He's a solid power forward. Not a great option, but he's a pretty good budget option at the power forward position. Certainly not a bad card. KG as well. KG's on the same level as Ben Wallace, I think, and probably AD. I mean, he's got a really nice release and good sigs, solid badges. Don't think he's the best card in the world at this point, but I still think he's a very solid, viable option at that small forward position. KP's our third S tier power forward. I think he's probably the second or third best power forward in the game right now. Really think he's an absolute monster at that position. 7'3" with a nice release, pretty decent movement, not the greatest, but not horrible. He doesn't have to have great movement. I mean, I think he's a very, very viable option. I think he's really, really solid. We're going to go him in the S tier. I'm going to move Ben Wallace down. I just think I have to. I feel like we got too many guys up there. I'm going to go Mo Bamba in C tier as well. I just don't think he's on the level of the guys in B tier, to be completely honest. I don't think he's a bad card. I just don't love his release. I don't know. He doesn't move that well. He's kind of there. He's not great, so we're going to go C tier for him. Moses Malone, underrated card. Not a ton of people have him. I think that's part of why, but 30 hoffs, decent release, decent size, solid card. Definitely think he can hold it down for sure. I think this Jokic card is as good or better than Kevin Garnett, so I'm actually going to move KG. I might just have a lot of B tier guys because I think KG's better than the guys in C. I think he's got to stay B, but Jokic is really nice. Like, I'm big on this Jokic card. Really nice release. I think he holds his own defensively decently well. He moves pretty well. He's got quick drops. I think he's a really good card. I'm going to put him in the B tier, to be honest. Shaq has a 63 ball and a bad release. I can live with one of them. I can't live with both. It's that simple. I understand he's a dark matter. I think he's a D tier power forward. I really do. Taco Fall is going to go S tier. That I had no doubt about whatsoever. Like, I just can't put him anywhere other than S tier, to be completely honest. I mean, he's the best power forward in the game, the most dominant interior force for sure in my team right now, especially with the mismatch at the power forward position. He's a freak. I mean, this card's incredible. Wish he had never come out, but he certainly is an S tier card. Tim Duncan was only on this list because he's a dark matter. He's not actually a good card anymore. He's just a dark matter. So that's the only reason he's on this list, but he's a pretty obvious D tier. Also a pretty obvious D tier is Tracy McGrady. They changed his release back to the T-Mac base instead of Kevin Porter Jr. on this Opal card. Undersized the power forward position, not the most elite defender. Not a great card. Another C tier guy is Tyler Hansbrough. Really nice pick and pop guy with a good release, but a little bit undersized. Not the best card in the world, in my opinion, I think is a fair way to describe Mr. Tyler Hansbrough. And then the last card in today's video is going to be Wilt Chamberlain, who is not an A tier card. I do think he's a B tier guy. We have a lot of B tier cards. I don't know who I would want to move out. Almost selfishly, I feel like Dino is like my favorite card in B tier, but I like KG, I like Greg Oden, I like Jokic and AD. I like all these cards. Even Wilt, I don't love the release, but he does have an 8-foot wingspan, which really helps him out a lot on the defensive end of the court, and I do think he's a very viable card. I don't know. I know we have a lot of B tiers in this list, a little bit disproportionate, but I don't think I'm going to include anybody else in S tier unless I wanted to move D-Rob up, which I guess I could, but then I have to move up a couple guys in A tier, and I don't know who those guys would be. I mean, would I move up Oden, who's really big, but he's pretty good. We could do that, and then I would say Tino is my favorite of these power forwards. I think this list, if I'm going to go pretty even, this is the most fair list that I can make for this video. But with that being said, I hope you all did enjoy the video. If you did, first of all, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Also leave a comment. Let me know what you think of my list. If there's anybody you think I rank too high or too low or all that stuff, make sure you let me know. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.